Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Now, today I'm recording this currently. It's a Friday night, and you guys will probably be watching this on Saturday morning. I'm sorry I'm very late with this news, but between work and my personal life, it's very hard for me to post videos on a constant, good pace because I don't get off work until like 9 p.m. and I'm there pretty much all day. So I don't have the afternoon or the morning to have free time to make videos. So I have to wait until night, which kind of messes with my schedule. So I'm very sorry if this video is a little bit later than everybody else's videos. Now, the 1.07 update has finally come out, and there's a lot of juicy details in this update. But the first thing I want to talk about is the brand new map that has come out. Now, I didn't get to try out the ground war map, but I did hear that it is actually tons of fun, and with less verticality, it makes it a lot easier to have good and fun gunfights, which is definitely a plus for me. But the new 6v6 map is kind of just screwed, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was having some very high expectations for this map, but in Modern Warfare, it just doesn't work. It really doesn't work. I was expecting people to be moving around, less head glitching, less camping. I thought it was going to be a lot more active, but in this map, it just makes it easier for people to camp because it's so small. So people don't have to move. They just literally hold one head glitch the whole game, or they mantle on one wall the whole game, wait for someone to run past their lines of sight, which someone is bound to do with the map being that small, and they just pick up kills that way. It kind of disappointed me. But at the end of the day, it's not the map's fault for playing like that. It's definitely down to the game. But I'm very happy that they decided to bring in new content. This game desperately needed some new maps for pretty much all the game modes. And even though they didn't get any not game modes, but new maps for the 10v10 game mode, they definitely catered to the 6v6 game mode, which was much needed because, as you guys know, Call of Duty is a 6v6 game, so they should be putting the majority of their focus into that. So hopefully more maps will be seen in the future, and we can definitely get a better experience with all of this. But it's definitely an interesting map, very small, very fast-paced, but at the same time, very campy. So, I mean, if you're expecting this map to save Call of Duty, and it's going to be its saving grace for a lot of the players who were tired of the very slow-paced, boring experience, then I'm sorry to say, but this is not going to really benefit you, and you probably will not enjoy it that much. But it is a nice addition to the whole rotation of maps. Definitely better than having to play Piccadilly and whatever it is, the cave map 24/7. It's nice to have a new addition into the mix. Now for the update, and to see if this update actually saved Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, it's a lot of things that I personally wanted to see out of this update that weren't in it, and it kind of disappointed me. But the major things that they did was they tuned the footsteps, which obviously for me personally, I still can't tell a difference if they tuned the footsteps or not. It still sounds extremely loud. But the devs did say, quote unquote, that they are going to be working more with the footsteps, and a much bigger update is going to be coming out very soon, addressing all of the footstep issues. So hopefully they will have those footsteps handled very soon, because that is a massive issue in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And they also quickened up the pace of the players, which was much needed as well. A lot of YouTubers, including myself, have been saying that you run way too slow in this game. And the funny thing is that they said that they brought back the speed of what you ran in the beta. So when you were playing the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta, the way you were running, how fast you were running in that, is how fast you're currently running now in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Thank God they changed that. And also, why would they even change that in the first place? I don't understand their logic behind this all. It doesn't really make much sense to me. The game worked fine in the beta. The movement speed was good. What made you want to slow down the movement speed in the Call of Duty game? Doesn't make that much sense to me, but I'm very happy that they changed it. I mean, it didn't really have to be like this. They should have never had to change it in the first place. It should have just been like this in the beginning of the game, but whatever floats Infinity Ward's boat, whatever makes them happy. They also adjusted the claymores, which was much needed as well. I was having some really big issues with how the claymores were working and how people were using them, and how people can pretty much just hold down their base or their fortress or their so-called quote-unquote safe space that Infinity Ward has made for a lot of these players with claymores. Because if you put a claymore in the perfect spot, you can't destroy it. You can't run around it. It'll click and blow you up. You can't shoot it. It would instantly kill you. You just had to leave the building and leave them to their safe place. I mean, you couldn't get them. That it was actually insane. So I'm very happy that they tuned the claymores a little bit. They got a nerf, and the way that they nerfed them is that you can shoot the claymores, and it's guaranteed that you will not die. No matter where you are, you could be as close as you can be to them. I'm guessing that's what they said. And if you shoot them and blow them up, it won't kill you at all. It will damage you, but it won't kill you. It's definitely a step in the right direction to fixing the whole claymore camping problem with this game. Is it the total fix, though? No, it's definitely not the total fix. They definitely need some more tweaking. They're still extremely overpowered. But hands down, it is the step in the right direction, and hopefully this will fix up some of the camping issues in this game, and people can probably approach more situations in a different way, knowing that they can take out the claymores without dying from some random cheese 24/7. They also turned off the battle chatter. Thank the heavens, because I don't know why they thought this was a good idea in the first place. It's a lot of stupid things that Infinity Ward did with this Call of Duty title that just didn't need to be done. They didn't need to change any of these things, but they decided to change them. And the battle chatter in this game was very obnoxious. And for a lot of people who don't know what battle chatter is, it's basically when your character is screaming out, "Enemy over there!" or when you're flanking behind enemies and they don't see you and you're coming from behind them and you don't have any teammates near you, you still scream, "Enemy right there! Enemy spotted!" Why? It made no sense, and it got me killed in so many situations. So thank God Infinity Ward finally addressed this situation, and they completely shut off the battle chatter in specific ways, just so that enemies can't hear your battle chatter anymore. I think you can still say stuff, or your teammates can hear you say stuff, but the enemies have no clue when you yell something out. This was drastically needed. Because once again, it adds on to the camping issue. People in this game like to camp and they like the sound whore. And if they hear your character screaming out some random nonsense, they will know exactly where you're coming at. They'll pre-aim that corner, wait for you to turn the corner, and they'll gun you down. Very obnoxious. So I'm very happy that they did decide to change this. They also went ahead and nerfed two of the most overpowered guns in this game, and you guys probably aren't even surprised about this. You guys seen so many other videos also about this of people discussing it, but they already nerfed the 7.25 and the M4 assault rifle. Now, me personally, do I think I see much of a difference? No, the M4 is still pretty powerful, and the 7.25 is still beastly. Now, the 7.25, I definitely notice a reduction in range when it comes to the damage, so they definitely tuned it down a bit. But the M4, I honestly still don't see much changed. It's still an extremely overpowered assault rifle. So I don't know. With more time, I could probably tell if the M4 is buffed or not buffed, if it's nerfed good enough, or if it's still the same. We're going to have to see, because I still have to test out other assault rifles and see if they can compete with M4 players. But still to this day, M4s are still dominating the lobbies. Everybody is still using the M4. It's kind of obnoxious, but I think that once people start ranking up their other weapons and start getting the other guns to max rank and they get good attachments on other weapons, I think they will finally be able to compete with the M4. I think just the main problem is that everybody went straight to the M4 since it was the most overpowered gun, and now they have all the attachments for it. They have their best class set up, so they're probably still just going to keep rocking the M4 for as long as they want. But the 7.25 I'm very happy with, because I didn't want them to nerf it into the dirt where it's completely useless, but I want the other shotguns to have a chance. I want other people to branch out and try different weapons. So they definitely did a great job with this, because the 7.25, it still packs a punch. You can still get one shots if you have the right attachments on, and can easily drill multiple people with the two shells that are in the weapon. But the range is definitely changed, and it makes it so you can't snipe people with it, which is the main reason why everybody was using the 7.25, because you could gun people down across the map with pretty much zero issues. So with the fact that the range has been reduced, now it's actually a shotgun, and I'm pretty sure other shotguns could probably compete with the right attachments. It's the same situation as the M4. You know, everybody ranked up the 7.25 because they knew the 7.25 was the best shotgun. They got all the attachments for it. They don't want to change and use any other weapons because they don't have attachments for the other guns. I think with more time and people actually, you know, slowly branching out to different weapons and finally unlocking all of the attachments for these weapons, it will become a more balanced game. But at the moment, everybody just has the max attachments for both the M4 and 7.25. So those will probably be used a little bit longer throughout the cycle, even after this nerf. I think people are still going to be, you know, kind of swarming to those two weapons. Now, the final question is, did this update actually fix Modern Warfare? No. Obviously, it did not even come close to fixing this game. There's still a lot to be done, but is it a step in the right direction? Yes, it's definitely a step in the right direction. They increase the movement speed, they're working on the footsteps, hopefully they get that done soon, and they're nerfing some of the most overpowered weapons to try to balance out the guns in this game to make people use different weapons, so yes, it is a step in the right direction. But these are the things that I think they need to do, 110% need to do to fix the camping issue in Modern Warfare. Now, I've come to a point where I don't think the maps are the main cause of camping. I just think the maps are very complex, but at this point in time, I pretty much memorized the spawns on the maps. I memorized where people will be coming from, where people like to camp. They're definitely more complex maps, so it's going to take some more time to learn them. But once you learn them, you kind of got them down. You don't have to worry about too many other issues with them. I think the main problem with people camping is the fact that sound whoring is the #1 thing in this game. This game revolves around sound whoring, 110%. And when you mix in loud footsteps, not being able to use dead silence 24/7, and having a ghost perk that's completely broken so you don't have to move in order for it to work, and on top of that, the mini map doesn't even show red dots. It's just a mix for a complete, utter disaster. I seriously think that dead silence needs to be a perk, because I noticed that when you're playing this game, the best times to rush are when you have dead silence as a field order. I noticed that the way that you get good KDs and stuff like that is to camp when you don't have dead silence, hold down positions and don't move, be that typical Call of Duty Modern Warfare player. But when you want to rush, you have to wait till you get the dead silence field order, and then when that turns on, you can finally run around, have a good time, have a blast, until it finally shuts off again. Dead silence needs to make an entrance into this game. It has to become a perk if you want this game to become any more fast-paced and have people camping less, because dead silence, let me tell you, it's a whole different experience. You'd be surprised how many people don't notice you, and how many people aren't locked on to exactly where you're coming from, or pre-aiming the exact location of where you're going to be coming around. A lot of things change when you have dead silence equipped, because sound whoring is so key. That's all people do. They want to sit in one spot and sound whore. Dead silence has to pretty much become a perk. It has to. If it's not a perk, I don't know. It's going to be a very long year if they don't make dead silence a perk. Ghost hands down has to be changed as well. I mean, come on now. Why would you ever change Ghost? It was perfectly fine as it was. I still don't agree with this. The second I heard that Ghost was being handled like this, I didn't agree with it. I thought it was a completely pointless way of handling a perk that was made perfect in the past titles, but they completely just crapped on it now in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. They have to change it to where you have to run around in order for it to be active. If they don't do that, I mean, people are just going to continue camping. It's not going to change. People will not move, and they will literally camp in the same spots all game, every game. Honestly, the update was good. It did do plenty of nice things, nice additions into the game. I can't complain. But overall, I think the only way that this game is going to become any better, in my personal opinion, is if Dead Silence becomes a perk, Ghost turns to how it used to be as the good Ghost perk, minimap has to be changed, so red dots do show up now if someone shoots an unsilenced weapon, and then on top of all of that nonsense, the footsteps have to be tuned. They are ridiculously loud. But please, make sure you go ahead and leave your comment down below on how you feel about this new update. Did you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Do you like the new map? Do you think the new map is a little too cluttered and a little too chaotic? Let me know all of your opinions down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. It really does mean the absolute world to me, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out.